Good morning, gladiators. We who are about to play Salutio! Alright, welcome to another episode of Oli Plays here at Whiskey Barrel Studios. And today I'm playing a game from 2013. It's a Metroidvania style game called Rogue Legacy. This game was made by two brothers, well I think they're brothers anyway, from a company called Cellar Door Games. And the story goes that they invested about $15,000 of their own money into it and spent about 18 months making the game, which isn't too bad for a game of this caliber and quality. Within an hour of the game coming out, they'd made all their money back. And the game went on to sell hundreds of thousands of copies. So phenomenal success, and it's been around for about 5 years, available on Xbox and PlayStation and Vita and Windows and all different platforms. Let's get into it, and I'll talk to you a bit about it along the way. Rogue Legacy by Cellar Door Games. There you go. My duties are to my family. But I am loyal only to myself. So this game, we're in the tutorial now, is quite cool because it's a classic kind of platformer game, much like you see in Castlevania or Metroid, hence the term Metroidvania. But where this game is different is that every time you enter a dungeon, the castle regenerates itself randomly and the room placement is different. Much like a roguelike. Hence the term Rogue Legacy. Legacy, what's that mean? When your character dies, they're gone. As in most roguelike games. But in this game, their heir lives on. So one character will die, and then one of his three sons or daughters will basically succeed him. Hold down, and that. What's the button? There you go. But the cool thing about it is that each character has different traits. Like they might be colorblind, or they might be gigantic, or super fast, and that kind of thing. So every playthrough is a little bit different. Down attack. Been a little while since I played this. I played this some years ago. It's quite interesting because it tells you tap X, but X is obviously an Xbox kind of button. You actually need to press D on the keyboard. There you go. Out of practice. Well, oh dear. Jump, yep, jump. Yeah, it's got a nice feel to it. It's really lovely pixel art, and I'm a huge fan of pixel art. You know, I find it just quite comforting and nostalgic, and I'm all into nostalgia and sort of games from the pixel era. There's sort of this ye old timey filter here on the tutorial, but that's about to disappear now. The first time I played this game, I don't remember there being a tutorial. Oh, here we go. Rogue Legacy. Start your legacy. Yeah, so now we get into the game proper. Now this reminds me a little bit of ghouls and goblins, ghosts and goblins, or ghouls and ghosts. You know, big moon in the background, rain falling everywhere. This, what you don't see over to your left here, which I don't know if we can go to, oh we can, is your castle. And whenever you die, the money that you earn can be spent on upgrading your keep. So we don't have enough money to upgrade that now, but once we die we'll go back to it and check it out. So we're going to enter the castle, building the castle with our first hero. You know, a lot like, it's borrowed a lot from Castlevania, everything from the music to these little candles that you can destroy and get coins from, the maps, that kind of thing. there's all these nice little sort of story bits of text along the way that kind of flesh out what you're actually doing here. And the game's very hard. It's very challenging. Expect to die an awful lot, but it doesn't matter if you die because you're supposed to die. What matters is that you get gold on your runs and take it through to the next adventure. So you want to collect as much gold as you can along the way. Like, if you just saw this on the surface, you'd think, well, you know, it's just another Castlevania ripoff. So Lee has been slain by a skeleton. Now, where it gets cool is that he's dead, so Lee, the feeble knight, but now his heir can be one of these three. Lady Block the mage, who has these traits. She can't tell people apart, she's very flexible. So there's a tiny dwarf knight, or two dwarf knights. So let's go with so useless, the knave, why not? So we don't have an... Oh, we do have enough money. Actually, we do. Hang on. Tiny little light we have here. So now we have a smithy. The blacksmith. So once we find blueprints, we can get him to upgrade our weapons. Do you want to upgrade our health? No. So the cool thing is you slowly get more powerful with each run. So the game is never wasted each dungeon run. So we can upgrade our weapons and armor here. Nothing available for us yet. Oh, Squire Sword. Can't afford that, so we'll forget that. Continue on our way. Look at this tiny little dwarf. So every time you enter the castle, you have to talk to Death. Charon, aka the ferryman from the Stygian abyss of Greek mythology. You know, it's basically death. One must pay the toll. So we got to give him all the money that we didn't spend, which is a shame. And then we enter the castle and it randomly generates again. Now, depending on the character you get, your quest can be easier or much more difficult. Like some characters, everything is upside down, some of everything's in black and white. This guy's tiny, which can be an advantage, but it also can be a disadvantage. They also have spells, but I forgot what the... Oh, yeah, there's a spell button. So he throws axes in the air. Now, notice that the world is different once again. That wasn't there last time, this wasn't there last time. Now the castle has 4 separate areas, and each has its own boss. You got to defeat them to progress to the final boss. And then once you do that, there's a new game plus mode. So he's so useless, died very quickly. Like there's I think there's a forest level and catacombs and stuff. I can't really remember actually. It's been years since I played it. So Skunky the Barbarian, that sounds cool. He's a beast. Lady Lena, also Scorpio. Let's go with the Barbarian. I'm always a fan of barbarians. I don't love the sprite, the main character design. It's alright. It's cartoony. I like most of the art in the game. I find this character's a little... They're okay. They're fine. I know what I'm complaining about. In we go. Get some cash. Now in there is a boss, and we can't get to there. Oh, what's that? Oh yeah, it's a diary entry. Oops. Anyone reading that? I'm not. These guys are tough. It's good to have axes and things, but you use mana every time you do, so we can't get in there. There's 2 of them there. Now these guys were inspired, they say, by... we're going to go back to there. By, of course, Dark Souls with its very challenging difficulty, but also games like The Binding of Isaac and, of course, the great Spelunky, with the randomness of those games. We're out of health. Unleash. The Barbarian is very powerful. He's good. I'm not sure, but I think these characters up on the wall are either the programmers themselves or some of the like patrons and backers that help support the game. Whoa. Wow. It plays really well. I should have hooked up my trusty Nintendo controller to it, which is a really good controller actually. I haven't used it in a little while, but there it is. It's the 8-bit Do, upside down. Big fan. I recommend getting one for a PC because it's like, or you can get the Super Nintendo version, which I have. Woohoo! Yeah, there it is, upside down. Yeah, these are really good. They're like 20 or 30 bucks, but they play wirelessly, and you can really emulate the retro game feel by playing with them. You can also use them on RetroPie and stuff like that. Ooh, lots of gold there. Nice one. That's a teleporter. Don't know what's in here. It could be a boss fight. Oh yeah, great. We're at a boss fight. The Gatekeeper, Kyler. Oh dear. Oh, what? That was a quick battle. Per so skunky. And it shows you all the enemies that you defeated, which is quite nice. Alright, we'll have one more go. Lady Nola, Lady Christine. Well, how could I not go with Lady Christine? My wife is named Christine. So she's heavy. Well, my wife isn't heavy. She's insane. My wife isn't insane. She's a powerful mage. Well, my wife is a powerful mage. Let's go with her. This should be fun. Because she's insane, it's going to be some interesting things. What can we unlock? Mana up. Yeah, we'll get that. We'll grab that. Upgrade Knight into Paladin. Some good upgrades. Great. Now we can have Paladins in the game. So that was a good haul there. And now we can start adding wings to the castle. Can't afford that yet though. And can't afford a weapon. Onward and upward. Ah, excuse me. It's winter here in Australia and I've had a cold for a damn week. It's really frustrating. Ah, we suffer for our art, we do. Alright. So I'm not sure what the dementia part of it comes into, the insanity. But as a heavy character, you can't be moved back, which can be useful. As other characters get knocked back quite a lot. Oh, what? I'm not very good at this game, but it's very hard. We've got to play again. We've got one more game. So Fleming, so Mark, any paladins? Mages tend to die very easily. Let's go with the Barbarian. Alright, one more go. It's a lot of fun. If you like Castlevania style games, I do recommend this, except for there's something about Castlevania, about knowing the structure of a castle and memorizing it and so on, that you lose in this game because it is so random. And I do miss that. In games like Symphony of the Night, you really develop the skills of learning the castle. Even games like Dark Souls, well, that's tough. And you do miss that with the randomness here. And random is good, but random sometimes can be too much. There's a lot going on. Whoa, get off that. Oh, that's a nice power-up. It's tough. Lucky they got good jump. Airtime, Michael Jordan, man. What's that? Ah, cool, found some dagger spells. Got some health back. So don't go into this game expecting an easy run, that's for sure. Well, Sir Mark has been slain by a wall turret. Well, that's Rogue Legacy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's got that addictive one more game style loop, because the map is big and random, but you die a lot, so it's worth, you know, playing a bit more, getting a bit more powerful, edging your way into the different dungeons and exploring. If you're into this style game, you can get it on Steam. It's not that expensive, and well worth your time. Also be good on PlayStation as well, I'm sure. Alright, well that's it for today. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next. I've been meaning to play Divinity, which is an awesome Ultima style role-playing game, but I want to wait till I have a little bit more time to play that. And I do want to show you some Sword and Sandals Pirates very soon, because I've actually got a working demo of the game. Still far from complete, but quite playable, so something to look forward to. Alright, until next time, bye for now.